Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So let's talk Mercy. Mercy was of course changed yesterday and we want to really address whether the new changes have made her a little bit more balanced, a little bit less of a must pick, and will it give other supports more opportunities. Before we go over anything, we need to go over the changes that are actually in here. And I want to start with one of the changes that has been overlooked, and I think that this is a really huge nerf to Mercy that people just aren't talking about. Cooldown no longer resets when Resurrect is activated for Guardian Angel, meaning that if you fly into somebody, res them, you don't instantly get Guardian Angel off cooldown, so you can't fly in, res, instantly fly out. This is huge on its own, and this is a really big nerf for Mercy for the simple reason is that you can get caught out fairly easily if you're trying to res somebody that's out in the open, maybe overextended, and you're trying to get to them. You run the risk of getting stuck there for at least 2 seconds, meaning that you can easily go down in that given scenario. Now, we all know and play with people that do overextend tremendously to the point that Mercies can't look after them and can't res them, and so they've died in no man's land and nobody can help them. That's the pick that they want to get before they start to engage on you. So now there's a real chance to bait out Mercies by killing somebody, trying to get her to resurrect them, and then instantly pouncing on her when she does. This is of course a huge buff to the likes of Winston and stuff that have a little bit more time to kill her, whereas before she would instantly fly and instantly fly out. Whilst we are talking about Guardian Angel, let's talk about the bunny hop thing. This was almost an exploit that Mercy players used to allow them to fly around at tremendous speeds and have the momentum to fly not only to the target that they're flying to, but past them and onto ledges, onto high ground, and to essentially drift in the air at a certain speed. This was taken out. This was one of the major nerfs that we saw to Mercy on the PTR before these changes came in. A lot of people weren't happy, so instead of having it be like an exploit or a bug in the game, they made it part of Mercy's playable kit, and overall the bunny hopping feels really good. All you do is sort of press and jump, and you can sort of catapult past people that you're flying to, not tremendously fast a lot of the time, but it allows you to get into cover, to get onto high ground. There's a lot of tech that you can use with this now, meaning that the skill to play Mercy, especially moving around as Mercy, is a little bit higher. Would I say that she's still a bit too hard to kill for a lot of heroes because of this? Most definitely yes, especially when she's ulted, but we'll go over that in a second. In the background, you've probably noticed some shit tier Mercy, I'll be honest. It's a quick play, I don't play an awful lot of her, but I wanted to see how she felt when she played. Did she feel impactful? The thing that I definitely learned is it's so much easier to be caught out playing this new version of Mercy. You get punished for making stupid decisions, and that's a lot better, and that really sort of answers the question, is she more balanced? It's a step in the right direction. Is she still going to have a really high pick rate? Of course she is. That doesn't really change that. The fact that some Mercy players aren't happy with these changes is quite interesting to me, considering she's in a really strong spot. I think regardless of who you play, you have to admit that Mercy having a 100% pick rate up until this point is pretty crazy, and something needs to be done about that. But as I said, these changes are in the right direction. Mercy isn't as strong as she used to be before, but she's in a pretty balanced spot. Now let's talk about Valkyrie. Some of the major changes came with the ultimate, and two of the major problems started with this ultimate as well. The first being able to res every 10 seconds was pretty strong, but also having it so you'd res, ult, and then instantly be able to res again because the time was reset as you pressed the ult was a bit strong as well. I think Blizzard even needed to focus on one or the other with these changes, but they instead nerfed both, and the version of Mercy before this was far too weak, wouldn't have been used at all. She would have completely plummeted from the meta at that rate. But the change that they've done with Valkyrie is fairly interesting. The fact that you get an extra charge when you use your ult means that it's much more flexible to have that kind of tempo playstyle, and that's the type of playstyle that you want Mercy players to have. The problem with old Mercy, and I mean old Mercy's in like 5-man res Mercy, was that you'd have to let people die before you could use your ultimate, and that was your game plan. That was the way that you played a good Mercy, was letting people die, and I guess Blizzard didn't want that to be the case anymore, so they changed it so there's a little bit more tempo play to her. Using your ultimate becomes incredibly important, knowing when to use it is incredibly important, but you can also use it at the beginning, middle, and end of fights, meaning that you had a lot more flexibility, but there were still better opportunities to use it than not. I think the movement and the self-sustain that Mercy has when ulting is still a little bit strong, but as you're seeing on screen, I got killed in a lot of situations when ulting because I was punished for doing it at a bad opportunity, and I was essentially focused down, meaning that it's not impossible, but it's still pretty difficult for a lot of heroes to do, especially if you're a tank player like a Reinhardt or Winston, like I have been. There's very little you can do with an ult in Mercy. One thing that I really don't like with Mercy, and I don't know whether this has been a hidden change or or whether this was in the game before, but very simply, you need to be looking at the character that you're going to be rezzing. It doesn't matter if you're literally stood on their corpse. If you're not facing where the res icon is, then you're not going to res them as you've seen on screen. I think that this is kind of baffling, really. I don't know why this is the case. And it means that Mercy has to really focus on who she's rezzing, meaning that she's a lot easier to kill if she's having to face away from her team, res somebody to face back to fly away. This means that the enemy has a lot more time to kill Mercy, granted that there's no cooldown reset on Guardian Angel as well. So Mercy, when she's flying to res people, feels really clunky, meaning that it's a really good opportunity to kill her. When I'm looking at these Mercy changes, do I think that she's going to be used by the pros? A little bit, probably with a Pharah on their team as well. Otherwise, I still think Lucio and Zen are going to be the main picks here. Anna is unfortunately struggling at the moment. I guess we'll talk about her another day. But is Mercy balanced now? Much more so than she was before. It's still a long way to go before we kind of get Mercy right. But people said the similar sort of thing with Roadhog, that he wasn't good enough, but now he's starting to find his own way in his own role within a team, and it's actually been picked up by the pros in a lot of situations as well. So overall, I'd say Mercy's in a better spot. Still a long way to go, but I think these changes are a good start to making sure that Mercy remains strong in what she's good at, but more so than not, doesn't become as much of a must pick. But we'll have to see on whether that's going to be the case. Thank you very much for watching. Do let us know what you think in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree, whether you think she's too strong or too weak now. Let us know below. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.